Religious victory. Even suggesting pursuing this win condition is sure to elicit mockery from experienced competitive Civ 6 players. While a sound strategy against the AI, religious victory has never really been competitively viable in multiplayer. The reason is simple. When two players are at war with one another, any of their military units can simply step on top of opposing religious units and delete them with the press of a button. There's a massive imbalance in the number of resources that a player needs to invest in order to pursue religious victory versus the number of resources a player needs to invest to prevent religious victory. With this context in mind, you can imagine my incredulity when a player by the name of Alcine bragged about having won a religious victory. Sure, that can work on occasion in noob lobbies, but not in serious competition, right? Then, however, he won it again and again and again, and not in weak lobbies either. Many of them featured some of the best players in the community losing to a religious victory. So, I reached out to Alcine in search of guidance. Now that I have eaten from the fruit of knowledge, I approach my YouTube audience like a mother bird feeding its children, regurgitating my wisdom so that you, too, can win religious victories in your multiplayer Civ 6 games. In this video, we'll be stepping through a free-for-all game where I won a religious victory. This was by no means an easy lobby. Not only are there several strong competitors to contend with, this was a 12-player lobby, which means 2 extra players to convert compared to the standard 10-player free-for-all game we're used to seeing on this channel. To start with, we're playing the best leader possible for this strategy, Harold Varangian. The reason this leader is the best is because the game we'll be playing in is using the Better Balanced Game mod, which is ubiquitous in serious multiplayer competition. While many of the best religious civs are overpowered in the unmodded game and had to be nerfed, Norway was buffed, with Harold's Varangian persona being buffed most of all. The notable line of text for winning religious victory is here, where we can see that we'll earn science and culture based on the population of cities we convert using a religious unit. This will allow us to keep up technologically with the rest of the lobby, even as we expend a large number of resources on winning a religious victory. The game starts out normally. Norway has a fairly particular build order in PBG that we won't be covering in depth here, but here's the Cliff Notes version. We get a bunch of bonuses on holy sites and have a unique temple, so we build a holy site in all of our early cities. Our holy sites are all positioned so that they are next to our harbors, which gain a major adjacency bonus from nearby holy sites. Harbor adjacency is far more important than holy site adjacency, as later in the game we'll get production equal to our harbor adjacency from shipyards and science equal to our harbor adjacency from the Free Inquiry Golden Age dedication. Our religious beliefs are innocuous to start with. Feed the world for extra food and housing from shrines and temples, and pilgrimage for some extra faith. In keeping with the Better Balanced Game mod's religious civ opener meta that I've covered in a previous video, our first governor is Moksha in our capital for extra culture, and our first Golden Age dedication is Monumentality, so that we can faith buy civilian units to jumpstart our development. Despite the fact that we're planning to go for a religious victory, we actually play the first 2 eras of the game completely normally, putting no effort into converting anyone just yet. Instead, we simply seek to settle all of our cities, grow their populations, and spam builders at feudalism in order to fill our land with tile improvements for more production. If we try to deviate away from the typical early game development in order to focus on converting other civs right away, we'd simply fall too far behind everyone else. Eventually, turn 53 rolls around and we begin our second Golden Age. Here, we switch from Monumentality to Free Inquiry, which grants science equal to the adjacency of our commercial hubs and harbors. As our Norwegian bonuses grant us a great deal of extra harbor adjacency, this choice is obvious. The one important thing to note about this decision is that, since we're no longer in Monumentality, we can no longer buy civilian units with faith. This means that our faith is finally freed up to be spent on other pursuits, namely religious victory. We grab 2 apostles right away and evangelize our beliefs. The ones we want are clear: Holy Order for cheaper religious units and mosques for stronger religious units. Immediately, we begin buying a couple of missionaries to start converting our allies. However, before we really start pushing for a religious victory in earnest, there's one thing we need to accomplish first: apostle discount stacking. You see, there are several ways to discount the cost of apostles and missionaries we buy in the Better Balanced Game mod, and all of them stack additively with each other. They are as follows: Meenakshi Temple, which provides a 25% discount on apostles; Hagia Sophia, which provides a 25% discount on missionaries; our religious belief, Holy Order, which provides a further 25% discount on both; Moksha's Patron Saint promotion, which provides a 20% discount on apostles; and lastly, the Theocracy Government, which provides a 15% discount on all faith purchases. By stacking all of these bonuses, we'll be getting a whopping 85% discount on all apostles and a 65% discount on missionaries we purchase for the rest of the game. Of course, we rush the prerequisite wonders out right away and gun for the Theocracy Government and the Civic Tree. In the meantime, we also promote the Governor Moksha in our capital, taking the Patron Saint promotion for the Apostle discount. Nearly all of the apostles we'll be buying this game will be in Moksha City to take advantage of this. And on turn 62, it all comes together, and we're ready to start converting the world. Despite having already produced several apostles prior to this turn, we're still able to faith buy more for an incredibly affordable 40 faith each. Thanks to the effects of Hagia Sophia, a mosque we've built, and Moksha's Patron Saint promotion, these apostles start with 6 movement points, 6 charges, and 2 promotions each. With these, converting the rest of the world will be a cinch. The biggest benefit of getting apostles which are this cheap and this powerful is how few of our resources actually need to be dedicated towards religious victory. Since converting other civs is so affordable, our cities can dedicate themselves to building out normal mid-game infrastructure, maximizing our production and science output so that we can maintain technological parity with the rest of the lobby, and don't become a sitting duck for warmongers. As we convert other civs, we gain large bursts of science and culture instantly on account of our leader bonus. Furthermore, in this game, we were fortunate enough to become the suzerain of Fez, further increasing the amount of science that our religious units can generate for us. It's worth noting that Fez is actually nerfed significantly in the Better Balanced Game mod, granting half as much science per citizen converted as it does in the unmodified game. So far, however, we've avoided addressing the elephant in the room with regards to this strategy. Can't the other players just declare war on us and condemn our religious units? Well, yes, but that comes with some caveats. First, in Free-for-All Civ 6, it's in no one's best interest to pick a fight with an equally matched opponent in the mid-game. This means that our immediate neighbors, who have reason to fear military retaliation if they declare war to condemn our apostles, are unlikely to step up to the plate of preventing our religious victory. Furthermore, none of them have founded a religion of their own, so they don't actually stand to lose anything from letting us convert them. In this game, that means that China, Scythia, and Gaul are incentivized to basically just roll over for us. The more distant civs, however, are a different story, as the amount of space between us means that it's hard for us to punish them militarily for resisting. Alcyne's solution to this is to simply escort all of his religious units with light cavalry, threatening to attack anyone who resists conversion. However, making the military units for this extortion is highly expensive and slows down the construction of our infrastructure, so I prefer a less committal approach. Here, another one of Harold Varangian's leader bonuses comes in handy: the extra influence points we gain from temples. This gives us a great deal of city-state control, which we've used to take control of several city-states, notably Fez. The problem with declaring war on us is that players don't receive any benefits from envoys they have in city-states which are controlled by players they're at war with. Missing out on the extra science provided from a scientific city-state is a meaningful disincentive for war. Furthermore, many of these players don't actually have a reason to stop our victory in the first place. Take Abraham Lincoln and Suleiman, for instance. Neither of these players are competing for first place in this lobby anymore, being too consumed by their war with each other. Whether or not we win a religious victory has no bearing on how well they'll place at the end of this game, so they're likely to just roll over and let us convert them as well. However, whenever we try to win religious victory, there will be some problem players, and it's critical to identify them as quickly as possible so that we can prepare our strategy. In this game, there are 3. The first one is Spain, played by Pranavashan. As this civ gains a massive number of bonuses to Inquisitors, he doesn't actually have to declare war on us to stop our religious spread. Furthermore, with a religion of his own that benefits his people, he has a clear reason to resist conversion to our religion, as a belief like Feed the World is practically worthless for him. The second problem is England, played by Campos. He's invested very little into faith this game, but has managed to secure and spread a religion with the belief Zen meditation to the majority of his cities. With no holy sites to speak of, he gains nothing from our Feed the World belief, and he's far enough away to avoid immediate retaliation for declaring war and condemning our units. The final problem is Chandragupta, played by the skilled player Golden RPGs. While the previous 2 players are incentivized to stop our religious spread for the sake of protecting their own religion, Golden RPGs actually has no such concern. India gains the bonuses of any religion which has at least 1 follower in its cities, so he actually stands to benefit from us spreading our religion to him. Why would he stop us then? Well, it's simply the fact that he wants first place in this lobby for himself. Since Golden RPGs is as far away from us as possible, has a religion of his own, and has a strong incentive to prevent our victory, this player represents the greatest threat to our win condition. Therefore, we have to concoct a game plan to neutralize these 3 players. For Spain, this plan is simple. He's relatively close to us and is generally not as skilled at the game as us, so we can just build up our empire as per usual and then wipe him out with tanks and artillery after converting everyone else. The plan for England is much the same. As they're on the same ocean as us, we can simply try to surpass them technologically and conquer them with destroyers and missile cruisers later into the game, after having converted the rest of the world. India, however, is not so simple. This civ is nowhere near us, has no coastal cities, and is played by Golden RPGs, who's one of the highest rated players in CPL. Furthermore, Chandragupta is widely considered one of the strongest leaders in the game for late game war in the Better Balanced Game mod. Instead of attacking him directly, however, we can try to corner him strategically. By putting him in a position where he can't win a race for science or culture victory, he'll be forced to change his approach into conquering his neighbors in order to get a higher score and a better placement in the post-game ranked report. Since we only need 50% of the cities he controls to be following our religion in order for it to count for religious victory, we can simply convert all of his neighbors to our religion ahead of time, which will cause him to inadvertently count as being converted when he goes to conquer them. Therefore, we put a heavy focus on trying to convert all of India's neighbors as quickly as possible, sending many of our apostles west across the ocean to get a head start on that side of the continent. After converting Gilgamesh, we actually get pretty lucky. England is so completely unprepared for our doubly promoted 6 movement apostles that we're able to blitz down their cities and convert them to our religion in only a few turns, even as they condemn several of these apostles using their military units. Now, there's only 2 threats left to take care of. Our religious units begin encircling India as we construct a railroad towards Spain. Thanks to the massive amount of science and culture we've been getting from converting civs thanks to our leader bonuses and Fez's suzerain bonus, we've actually managed to secure a meaningful technological advantage over Spain, despite having a lower listed science number. With this advantage, our military force is able to make steady progress. Accompanying our military are apostles and inquisitors, which are needed to ensure that, even as we conquer Spanish cities, our religion remains dominant in more than 50% of the cities we control. On the opposite side of the world, Chandragupta is starting a conquest of his own, exactly as we've planned. As he conquers Greece, the number of his cities which are following our religion increases bit by bit. In order to speed this process along, we send the remainder of our apostles into his cities. While he declares war and condemns several of them, we're still fast enough to convert 3 of his original Indian cities. Thanks to the Greek cities he's added to his empire, this is sufficient for him to count as being converted to our religion. With 11 out of 12 civs successfully converted to our religion, and the one remaining civ facing imminent annihilation at the hands of our tanks and artillery, the players in the game vote unanimously on turn 90 to concede the game in our favor. And that, my dear viewers, is how you win a religious victory in multiplayer Civ 6. I look forward to seeing all of you going out there and feeding your asses off trying to replicate this terrible strategy in multiplayer lobbies. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. Be sure to subscribe to this channel, as I'll be posting the full VOD of this game shortly. And if you want to catch full games of multiplayer Civ 6 live, be sure to follow me on Twitch, which I've linked in the description down below. That's all for now. Herson signing out.